Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Jerem here. As you guys can see up on the screen, today I want to talk a little bit about Sofi Technologies Incorporated. Once again, this is ticker symbol SOFI or SoFi. They got the ticker symbol the same as their company name. They make it really simple and easy for you there. I do think that's always nice, not having some crazy ticker symbol like, GFQ is SoFi Technology. So that's at least one thing it has going for it. But the reason we're talking about this today, not only do we cover this stock on a pretty consistent basis because it's a very, very popular stock on social media, Reddit, YouTube, Twitter, all over the place. It has a very, very strong and passionate community, so it's one that I enjoy talking about. Two, it's also very volatile, very news driven, so there's always something going on with it to talk about. And obviously today there was some very, very big movement in this stock, being down 9.92%. Now, after hours, we are up 1.56%, so maybe it started to bounce back a little bit. Maybe the rest of the week will be good. Maybe tomorrow will be good. Who knows? But today was definitely not great. And, 2022 as a whole has not been great. We are now down, close to 35% year to date, which is really, really rough. But we'll be going over why the stock dropped today and what potentially the future has in store for it as well. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that a ton. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. As always, no financial advice is going to be given in this video. Not telling you guys to buy, sell, do anything like that. Just giving my thoughts and opinions on some of the news. With that being said, let's get right into this. So again, today, very, very rough day for SoFi, but it was a rough day for the markets overall. There's so many different things going on right now. There's still interest rate concerns. There's still inflation concerns. Russia-Ukraine stuff is really, hitting like really pivotal point, I want to say, and the markets were not loving today. Dow Jones down pretty big, S&P down decently, NASDAQ down pretty big, and Russell down 1.45%, the most of all the major indices. A really rough day overall. Obviously, SoFi is one of these stocks that I've talked about a lot on this channel as a stock that outperforms the market up and down. When the S&P, Russell, NASDAQ is down, SoFi is going to usually be down. But when it's up, it's going to usually be outperforming it on the upside as well. So if we ever do hit a nice stretch where the market does well and does well and does well, that could potentially, at least, in my opinion, be a good time to be in SoFi. I think we're going to see it really run up really, really fast. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. We're still at a point where the markets continue to trade lower and lower and lower. Maybe the drop-offs aren't as big as they were in, say, January, but, at least up until today, February 22nd of 2022, we have not found a bottom in this market yet. Now, does the S&P being down 1 or 1.5% mean that SoFi should be down 10%? No, absolutely not. But I could totally see it being down 3, 4, maybe even 5% as being pretty justified. But the rest is coming from this. The big, big, big news coming from SoFi today. They did an acquisition. Yeah, and here is the first article I want to talk about. SoFi to buy banking infrastructure firm Technisys, I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. I haven't heard anyone say it before. For about $1.1 billion. Now, SoFi right now is currently valued at $8.28 billion. So buying something for $1.1 billion, that's pretty expensive. This better be a big acquisition. This better be a big pickup. This better be worth it because, man, that is not cheap. That is a tough sell. But here's how some of the subreddit is reacting. Hey, this sounds like great news based on the description. Technisys, digital banking platform Cyberbank, provides exceptional digital experiences for over 100 million banking customers in 16 countries, banks, neobanks, challenger banks, and fintech. Anthony, you sexy son of a bitch, talking about Anthony Noto. The market volatility hasn't made Mr. Noto rethink SoFi's strategy. We're not slowing down. The distance between us and others is only going to increase. And that is something that I think is very, very important and actually very interesting. One reason that a lot of people don't love very many fintech companies, especially companies similar to SoFi, dealing in this kind of just financial institution space, is that a lot of them are very similar. It's going to be hard 5-10 years from now to really choose who a big winner is going to be, if anyone. They're all offering pretty similar services. They all have pretty similar experiences. They all have pretty similar features and rates and all this stuff. And to really be a massive winner in this space, you need to really dominate. You need to be able to acquire customers and incorporate them into your full suite of products to really lower customer acquisition costs and to really make a ton of money a bunch of different ways. And it's going to be hard for somebody to really dominate, the fintech space like that. But separating SoFi from other companies like this is potentially one way to do that. They already have Galileo. Now they have Technisys. Maybe these are ways that SoFi is actually going to differentiate themselves from some of these other companies. So, some of the other interesting stuff here, Technisys founded in 1995, $50 million revenue in 2019 from the press release. It sounds like they're expected to deliver $70 million revenue in 2021, so that's about 40% growth in 2 years. Kind of interesting there. SoFi estimates that Technisys acquisition is going to generate up to $800 million in additional revenue through 2025. It will also create up to $85 million in cost savings over the span. So, that's getting us like around $900 million there. So, by 2025, this won't exactly have paid for itself, but, maybe it'll get close to having paid for itself, obviously being a $1.1 billion deal. SoFi currently relies on one legacy software vendor to power its banking and savings accounts and a separate one to power its credit card. Technisys will allow it to bring those capabilities in-house. So that is very, very cool. That definitely makes a lot of sense of why SoFi is doing this deal. But now, we've talked about a lot of good stuff, a lot of reasons why this could really potentially help SoFi, why this could be a massive, massive deal. We've talked about one bad reason, it's pretty expensive. But the other bad reason is that this is an all-stock deal. And not only is it super expensive, but again, shares outstanding are going to be increasing. Again, our shares outstanding increasing, 1.1 billion would be like 98.2 million shares, bringing the total up to 920 million. So this is almost 10% increase to shares outstanding. That is tough. Like some people have said, even if they were just raising money, even if they were just, taking on debt to do something like this, some people would love it, some people would hate it, some people would say it's not the right time or this is a bad price or whatever. But when you're talking all stock and you're talking about a super high growth company like SoFi and many people are invested in it for those super high growth numbers, now you're taking 10% off the top. Because yes, Technisys has great growth. Like we said, it's been, 40% growth in 2 years. So, high teens kind of growth rate year over year, maybe 20% year over year. But high teens, I think, is more accurate. And that's less than I think what a lot of people expect SoFi to grow year over year, or people hope SoFi to grow year over year. So you are lowering growth and adding shares. Yes, Technisys might be great. Yes, it might save him a bunch of money. Yes, it might make him a bunch of money. But again, it's just something that seems to be scaring a lot of investors right now. So, is this the only reason SoFi is down? No, absolutely not. But it is definitely a very, very big contributing factor. Also, just the market we're in right now, the fact that SoFi is not profitable. There's so many things playing on this, 35% year-to-date number that we are down. I don't know. Technisys, I think, is exciting. I think it could be great, but I also get why people are a little bit worried and a little bit concerned. We also have this, I think, is really, really big news. SoFi, margin investing is officially here, and that's not all. They've dropped the intro rate to 2.5%, and there's no paid subscription required. They're obviously directly taking a shot at Robinhood here, who I believe just recently raised their interest rate from 2.5 to 3%. I know that SoFi previously had said that they're probably going to be raising their rates in like June or something of this year. I'm assuming that's still going to be happening. I don't know exactly what for sure all those numbers and stuff are going to be, but for the time being, it's possible that SoFi is going to have best in class or industry leading, margin interest rates, which is very, very exciting. And like they said, that's with no paid subscription either, which Robinhood also has. So I thought this was really, really cool to be going directly at a competitor, which is something that SoFi often does. They go directly at big banks. They go directly at Robinhood because they're trying to steal away market share from them, and I think that's cool. And then, people already posting that, hey, they're getting approved for margin. They're starting to be able to invest on margin, and that's definitely a feature that a lot of people like. A lot of people want to see in their investment apps, so maybe that makes them more likely to stay on SoFi or come over to SoFi, and obviously it's a way for SoFi to make some money as well. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Tell me drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about SOFI. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hope to catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.